at the new Georgia Dome.
Thank you, Dan Hicks. The Buffalo Bills 17-0 over Atlanta at the intermission. Jim Kelly, very impressive in the early moments of this game. In the first quarter, Bob Trumpy, he was 6 for 7, 100 yards, couple of quick strikes. It was the Buffalo Bills we saw all the last year.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing about Jim Kelly is his command of this offense. He showed it on the first touchdown. Read the blitz well, communicated to his entire offense. Watch Andre Reed in the slot here. Well cleared by Thomas, 87 underneath. Kelly gets good protection. You remember Davis had a big block, picked up the blitzer. Andre Reed goes in for the first score of the night.
Reed, the all-time Buffalo receiver, and that pattern underneath and then just galloping away from the defense, so familiar. The other score came on an Ed Thomas tight end, 1-yard pass from Kelly, and a 32-yard field goal by the Bills' new kicker, Steve Christie. The Bills will get it first to open this second half. Norm Johnson, the former Seattle Seahawk, had 15 consecutive field goals last year here in Atlanta. Eddie Fuller for Buffalo, head down to the 22-yard line. Brett Bernez, former Los Angeles Ram, Plan B acquisition, made the tackle.
Frank Reich starts the second half here.
Reich, a close friend of Boomer Esiason, and here's the #1 draft pick of the Buffalo Bills, John Fina, the 282-pound offensive lineman from Arizona. Let's watch how he does. He was a surprise pick by the Bills. He was second team All Pac-10 last year. Didn't even make the Pac-10 first team, and yet was a first-round draft pick. Griffith, Howard Griffith. Little dance. And has a gain of nearly 5 before Terry Ray, a rookie from Oklahoma, can make the tackle.
You know, when we talked to John Fina last night, I thought it was interesting. I asked him the biggest surprise about the NFL. Only been here a while. He said the speed, just the speed.
Everything happens so quickly.
And the big guys who still have speed.
Right to Griffith again. Good block, and Griffith outside for a first down, and finally wheeled out of bounds at the 39, and a flag goes down. May have been a face mask or a tackle up around the head from Louis Riddick. Tough 216-pound safety.
Looked like that great block was thrown by Brian Baldinger, number 62, out in front of that sweep.
Of the 3 Baldinger boys in the National Football League.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the tackler. The sweep arm blow to the head. 15 from this spot, first down.
Riddick going to the head, and it costs his team 15 yards.
See if we can pick up who in fact made this block. It's 62. That's Baldinger out in front. Yes, he does an excellent job, as does 79. And there you see Riddick with the hand all over the face mask. Not very smart. 79 is Joe Stasiak. 2 good blocks there by backup offensive lineman of the Bills.
On first down from the 46 of Atlanta, it's Kenneth Davis, a Texas twister, as he was called at TCU, down to the 35-yard line. And our Coors Light halftime statistics reflect the Buffalo advantage, 143-74 in passing yards and 2-1 in total yards, 210-105. And typically Buffalo with the ball, less time, possession time, 3 minutes less. They were last in the league by far in possession time, reflective of their no-huddle offense. First down, Davis struggles to the 32, a pickup of 3.
2 points. One, even though they averaged just over 26 minutes per ball game last year, still scored 458 points. 2, you mentioned earlier about the talent on this football team. Jim Kelly, Kenneth Davis, you see Beebe and James Lofton back there. Let's give credit to Bill Foley, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, an astute judge of football talent.
Underneath and another first down as Chris Walsh, the rookie from Stanford, with the reception. Right, nice low throw.
And you see him calling the play at the line of scrimmage. And let's watch the #1 draft choice. John Fina has gained 20 pounds since college. Does an excellent job of pushing the defensive lineman to the ground and wants to gain 10 more. Wants to play next year at 292.
It looked like a broken play as a little roll naked roll by the quarterback Reich and right into the arms of Chuck Smith, the rookie from Tennessee, the #2 pick of the Falcons.
You see the game up front. Tim Green outside, Smith inside, number 90. You're right. There was no place for Frank to go. Somebody missed an assignment there somewhere.
And Green still playing a starter here in the third quarter. And there's Chuck Smith.
Only
242 is all he weighs.
And what I asked Tim Green, I said, geez, you look thinner. He says, oh, come on. I'm trying to get bigger. He only weighs like 250.
It is a very small defense that Glanville has put together here. Fuller on the screen, read well by the defense. Daryl Hardy, flags are down, and Tim Polk, a couple of rookies, Hardy from Tennessee, 10th round pick, and the 7th round selection, Polk from Florida.
As you talk about, we watched the penalty here
against Atlanta, 5 yards for offside.
You mentioned the
Offside, number 90 defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, repeat, second down.
Well, that's Smith, 242 pounds, but because of the lack of size in this defensive line, they have the game stunt. You see, he's lined up in the neutral zone. They have the game, they have the stunt, they have to shoot for gaps. You can't assign a 242-pound defensive end to a 282-pound offensive tackle all day. You'll wear him out in about half of the football season.
Left tackle charged with blocking Smith as Wright calls a new play. And it's Griffith doing a tightrope along the near sidelines and out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Very close. Well, not quite to a first down, but 5 yards. It'll bring up third down.
Interesting that the Buffalo Bills are really, tonight, they have run a lot of the counter gap. You see it coming right at you. See the running back on the far side of the quarterback. You try to hold the linebacker there, get a block on him. Griffith runs it well.
Griffith, in his first full year, he was a 237th player selected last year by Indianapolis and then released, and the Bills signed him for the developmental squad. We won't have a squad this year. He's got 41 yards tonight playing for Carwell Gardner. Right to Eddie Fuller, and Fuller is down at the 3-yard line. First and goal, Buffalo.
Dick, I got to tell you, this black wave defense of the Atlanta Falcons that is supposed to be all over everybody doing nothing. Here's the running back, runs an excellent pattern. The coverage comes from here, but he never gets there in time. Reich almost has to wait on the running back to turn around and look at it. Then he dumps a little bit up inside. Excellent play by Eddie Fuller. Nice pickup, first and goal. I don't know where this defense is. Now remember that Buffalo played last Monday night.
Well, most of them now in the black uniform are second and third stringers. Some 13 of them won't be here a week from Sunday. In fact, on Monday, the final cut. It's Fuller. He has a touchdown. A flag is down.
Field judge watches tight ends.
You should know that.
12 men on defense. Penalty decline.
Still couldn't stop Fuller.
Well, nice try, Jerry. It didn't work. Excellent job by this backup defensive line. Baldinger 62 leading out, Griffith 29. But you got to give most of the credit to Eddie Fuller. He cuts back inside, takes on 2 tacklers, still gets in the end zone.
(23-0) as Christie comes in to try the point after. And Buffalo up by 24 early in the third.
Just to prove it, there are 7 here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the official. There's the 12.
The last thing the average person wants is the average car. That's why the new Mazda brought you the return of the pure sports car, the all-new RX-7, and the return of the Roadster, the Miata. That's why our 626 feels personal, and our MX-6 feels timeless. It's why every Mazda will fulfill its promise in a way no other car can.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. If you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years. In writing, Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally, they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily?
Burger King has a deal that's really making some noise. Every time you buy a Whopper meal, you get a 16-ounce Coke glass free. That's a flame broiled Whopper sandwich, medium Coca-Cola Classic, medium fries, and a Coke glass free. Sounds sweet, huh? Collect the whole set and you'll be seriously jamming. Not to mention the tasty fringe benefits.
I heard that.
Don't wait, right away at Burger King now.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by the new Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By Burger King, where you get it your way right away. We don't serve billions, we serve individuals. By cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great? And by Quaker State, the big Q is one tough motor oil.
Buffalo strikes on the opening series of the second half. Eddie Fuller, 2 yards for the touchdown, capping a 77-yard drive in 9 plays. 24-0 Bills, showing why they are the pick of the AFC East and maybe the entire AFC again. Christie's kick. Derek Moore's got some open field and crosses out to the 36-yard line. 31 yards on the return. It wasn't Deion Sanders on that return, and Thurman Thomas says, I miss Deion.
Look at that look on his face.
Well, he's not the only one. And in talking with the Falcon players, and in particular Tim Green, and relating that Deion is such a good team player, not just an exciting, outstanding player. What did he say, Tim Green say about the speed of Sanders?
He said it was shocking. He'd never been around anybody with that kind of speed. The story I liked on Deion was that he has to put a sign out in front of his house sometimes to keep the kids away from his house who want autographs. He signs so many autographs, sometimes he just said, kids, give me a break today. So he puts a sign out there.
Close today. Number 84, Carl Miller, with his first catch today. Let's go down to Gail Gardner.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. I'm with Bill Polian, the general manager. A little bit different than Friday night against Kansas City, huh?
Yeah, a little bit different story, fortunately.
I understand that you met with Cornelius Bennett's agent today with Mr. Parker. How did that go?
Well, I met with him. As always, it's cordial and very professional. But as Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over, and he isn't signed.
Are you close?
I don't know. I really can't say.
A quick question about the situation between the players, obviously, and the management. You're on the committee that's really in charge of this whole thing. Are we at the point now where we're hurting this game? And are we going to get this resolved? I mean, from the courts right now, this could drag on forever.
It could, unfortunately, and that seems to be the way it looks. I'm just a member of the working group. There are a great many outstanding owners on the committee, among them Al Davis, Wellington Mara, Dan Rooney, the best minds in the game. But the people on the other side have changed their position so much that they've pretty much alienated everybody on our side, and it doesn't look very promising at all. In fact, it doesn't look like there's much of a chance at all of ever reaching agreement.
Are you talking?
No, there are no talks at the moment.
Any talks planned?
Not that I know of.
It's just going to hang on like this with no agreement.
Unfortunately, it seems that way. The commissioner has said that agreement is possible and that we'd like to do it, but it takes two to tango.
No agreement, no expansion.
I believe the commissioner said that. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him.
All right, thanks a lot, Bill. Let's go back to Dick.
Thank you, Gail. And Bill Polian, the commissioner, did indeed say that. They had no fumble ruled down. There was quite a delay there. There was an injury to Matt Darby, a rookie from UCLA, Buffalo defensive back, and that's why we had an opportunity to extend the interview with Mr. Polian. And here's the last play. Oh, this is the play in which Darby, number 43, is injured. He's a 5th-round pick, and Buffalo, from what we could read between the lines, Bob, looked like he might make the club. He's back in there.
Yeah, it looked like he just had a hit on the arm, but he is back. Big kid, 6'1", 200 pounds.
First down, Atlanta at the 46-yard line. Falcon territory as Tolliver goes to work. Bullseye at the 42. First down again as Sean Collins hangs on. Good hit by Manny Hendricks.
You know, this may be some very good advertising for Sean Collins. As we've documented, the run and shoot requires small, quick, very fast receivers. Collins is big, sure-handed, not the same kind of speed. We understand that Tampa might have some interest in Sean Collins, but this is a young man, a first-round draft choice 4 years ago out of Northern Arizona that can play in the NFL. It's just a matter of finding the right spot for him.
Atlanta with a boat full of luxury wide receivers. And Andre Rison yet to sign. On first down, Tolliver. Nothing there.
Dick, let me add one other bit to that equation about Sean Collins. With the injuries over the last week to the defensive players of the Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta might be a lot more interested in shipping Sean Collins for some defensive help.
At last play, Carl Miller the catch. Eric Coleman making the defensive play for Buffalo, and a loss of 1.5 yards.
You saw those numbers for Sean Collins, 95 career, 58 his rookie year.
Atlanta trying to get that red gun to produce some points. They trail 24-0 with 7:15 left in the third quarter. On the draw. This is their top rookie, Tony Smith. First down at the 20. Might be the longest run of the preseason, 24 yards.
An I formation running back in college. Had to learn a lot of things in the NFL, including pass protection. Last week, stood next to Jerry Glanville because he missed a pass protection assignment. That's his 9th carry of the night.
46 yards for Smith. Falcons in scoring range now. First down at the 20. Tolliver to Collins. Gain of 9 more. Tackled by Eric Coleman.
Dick, one of the things that is very apparent about this run and shoot when you begin to see it, watch Sean Collins' eyes, constantly looking downfield. These receivers must read coverage as they're moving off the line of scrimmage. Coordinate that with the quarterback, and then they're looking for the open spot. A very difficult offense as a receiver to run.
Smith. He may have fallen forward at the first down in the grasp of Derek Brownlow, a pickup from the Dallas Cowboys on Plan B.
That was a very nice play by Brownlow. Filled the hole very well. 5'10", 240 pounds.
Fighting Illini, your part of the world.
Keep sending them in there. We'll find some that can play.
He had more tackles than Butkus or Nitschke, Hall of Famers, Scott Studwell. He had a great 4 years in Champaign. First and goal for Tolliver and the Falcons. Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Touchdown, Jason Phillips.
Here's Phillips. He just goes down in the middle, and it's a busted coverage by the Buffalo Bills. The closest man is Kurt Schultz. Half of them were playing man-to-man, half of them were playing zone. When you get 2 and 3 deep in this defense, you're going to have mental mistakes.
Oh, Phillips, who's had a big night. 6 catch. First Atlanta score. Extra point makes it 24-7.
So you just got a cash advance, did you? Too bad you used an ordinary credit card. Because you could be carrying some very heavy interest charges. Why not carry the Discover card? Just pay your full monthly balance and a small transaction fee, and we'll forget the interest. Which means our money comes with no strings attached. It pays to Discover.
This is our vision of what a luxury sedan should be. Not because it offers rich leather and anti-lock brakes, but because it comes standard with an airbag on the driver's side and the passenger side as well, creating the luxury sedan where even peace of mind is shared. The new 929, the first luxury sedan from the new Mazda.
It just feels right.
It was unreal. You woke up with morning breath. You were meeting Miss Wonderful for breakfast, and instead of minty fresh Scope... Where's my Scope? There was something from the Medicine-y mouthwash. It looked blue, but it still smelled somewhat medicine-y. I need my Scope. It's okay. Relax. It was all a dream. You do have Scope. It's minty through and through and kills 90% of morning breath bacteria. So you use minty fresh Scope, and you kiss morning breath goodbye.
There's time for only one more snap of the football. It's third and long. They need one incredible play to turn this game around. They're set. It's all down to this one play.
Did you break this?
Unbelievable.
Watching TV will never be the same. Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt are Mad About You, Wednesdays this fall on NBC.
Jason Phillips trying to protect his territory in that crowded wide receiver collection for the Atlanta Falcons. 6 catches, a touchdown. The leading receiver in the preseason. Third-year man from the Houston Cougars as Norm Johnson onside kick. And the Falcons, I believe, have recovered. It went to 10 yards.
They actually waited on it, didn't they?
Yeah, they caught the Bills retreating. And now maybe in the scramble underneath, Buffalo got it after all. Yes, they did. Boy, that was one tremendous effort by number 57, Brownlow. He was outmanned. He was the only white jersey in the area.
Everyone else on that front line of the return team, we're going to man down here for
Oscar Giles.
Oscar Giles is down. Norm Johnson with an excellent job. Boy, you can see the way Giles got hurt. See his ankle and knee turn under. Recovery by Buffalo. We'll come back and give you another look at that injury.
What's up, Jay? What up? Where's Calvin? At the J.O.B., man. What? He's still flipping those burgers at Mickey D's. Here's your order.
Thanks, Calvin.
When he could be kicking it with us, man. Having big fun. He says he has a plan, man. Meet the newest member of our management team, Calvin.
Congratulations.
All right, man. Yep, I'm part of the management team now, Mama. Don't rip my boy too hard now. Yeah, he does wear some fresh clothes. Yo, Calvin, welcome to the hood. May we help you? Not much, man. Well, I'm out. Hey, yo, Calvin. You know, what's the word on that job thing? Oh, man, you know, not for me. For a friend of mine.
Once in a great while, a car comes along with such timeless beauty, such intrepid performance, you can't help but make predictions. What do you do when you think something is destined to be a collector's item? You put one away for safekeeping. The new MX-6 from the new Mazda.
Mazda just feels right.
Then again, who can wait that long?
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
In 2 weeks, the pride and tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC as the Fighting Irish square off against one of their fiercest rivals, Big Ten champion Michigan. It's Heisman Trophy favorite Rick Meyer versus Michigan field general Elvis Gerback in this battle of 2 top 10 teams. Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
The injured Oscar Giles helped off the field after a tremendous injury that appeared to be much more serious when we first saw the replay. covering the onside kick for the Bills, and Gail Gilbert is the quarterback now for Buffalo. Brad Lamb with the catch at the 39, a gain of 6. And here's the injury, and it's a frightening replay.
But he did get up. He did walk out. It's his right ankle. Watch closely. If there's not a break in that ankle, he's bionic. And they helped him off the field, but another injury on this turf. Well, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Eddie Fuller, who has a touchdown, hit hard by Polk, who's played a good game. Tim Polk is the 7th-round draft pick from Florida, and with a shortage of linebackers with injuries, he might just be winning himself a spot on this Falcon defense. You notice the 10-minute ticker, and it's all on a computer this year. Every 10 minutes on NBC, you will get the scores of the other games. So on Sunday, you want to know how your favorite team's doing? Be with us. You can count on it. On the 10-minute mark, all the scores will appear.
The report on Oscar Giles is he just has an ankle sprain. Can you believe that?
Gilbert on 3rd down. And it's Fuller again, taking 5 men to bring him down. 1st down, Buffalo at the 32.
Well, we've seen Kenneth Davis tonight and Eddie Fuller. We knew Davis was an impressive running back, and now with a 3rd quarterback, Eddie Fuller continues to be a very impressive contributor to this offense.
Well, you know, we met Bill Polian, the general manager, earlier with Gail Gardner. It's his 9th year. He came to this franchise when they were consistent losers. They were the doormats, and he's built this to the powerhouse of the AFC. Not always with the best draft picks. Many of the stars of this Buffalo team, 3rd, 4th, 8th, 9th round picks. Fuller was the 100th player selected. There's a fumble. I guess he did hang on as Howard Griffith goes down in the grasp of Tim Green, and that's a bit surprising that Green, a regular, is playing here deep into the 3rd quarter.
You know, you talked about Bill Polian. He was the guy who orchestrated the Jim Kelly deal to get him back to the NFL and in a Buffalo Bills uniform. It was very complicated.
How about Cornelius Bennett?
How about Cornelius Bennett? Yeah.
Eric Dickerson and all those number 1s and a 3-way deal. Indianapolis. 2nd down and 12. Gilbert almost deflected to Fuller through the hands of the tight end, Nate Turner. Butler and Chuck Smith come in defensively. This crowd trying to get the Falcons to rally from 24-0 down. It's now 24-7.
You know, speaking of the crowd, I think they have to have dress rehearsals in this stadium. You know, get a little more used to the way they do in Seattle. They do the wave when the opponent has the ball on offense. People in Seattle know how to use a dome.
Well, it'll be noisy here in the Georgia Dome. Atlanta fans know how to cheer. And now in an enclosed structure, it's going to be tough on the opposition. Gilbert on top, wide open is Lamb. Overthrown. He beat Fred Fogarty.
Blitz by Atlanta, well read by Gail Gilbert, and an excellent battered run. You see Fogey jumps inside, figuring it's the cross. Good protection. Lamb is saying, come on, I don't get many chances to catch a touchdown pass in the NFL. Lay it in my hands.
It'll be a 52-yard attempt by Steve Christie. He kicked one 54 yards when he was with the Buccaneers. That's way off to the right.
And I must tell you, Sam Weitz is a friend of mine. When they lost Steve Christie, they thought they lost one of the best kickers in the NFL. He's not performed to that level so far this preseason for Buffalo.
Get in line. Stay in step. Or maybe you'd rather go your own way. In which case, check out the all-new 93 626 ES from the new Mazda. The company that's put a twist on everything from luxury cars to roadsters. Now we've done the same to sedans. With a V6, an airbag, and ABS. Introducing the all-new Mazda 626.
Mazda, it just feels right.
Wouldn't it be great if you could afford a luxurious mansion? For you and all your friends? Of course, the place needed some updates. Like a bowling alley and a pool table.
Naturally, it'd have an open house.
Food, dear!
With beer.
Harold, do something!
Icy, cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer chased in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
This is the time to use Ace Paint. Hey, Ace knows what it takes to make great paint, because Ace makes its own. Ace Paint, top quality in every drop, guaranteed.
Ace 7-Star, their best latex house paint, is just $11.99 a gallon.
Another reason Ace is the place for you.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot. For pro volleyball's best beach boys, it all comes down to this. The biggest payday, the tour's final event, the Miller Lite U.S. Championships, live this weekend on NBC.
With Bob Trumpy, Dick Enberg, welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Late in the third period, Buffalo leading the Falcons 24-7. You see Bill Fralick, a starting guard, and the starting center, Jamie Dukes, still in for Atlanta, and there's a reason why two regulars will be playing this late in the preseason in the game. There's Jason Phillips with another catch. And out of bounds at midfield, Manny Hendricks with a tackle. 16 more yards, Tolliver to Phillips. And Jerry Glanville called it Bud Granting.
Yeah, Bud Grant used to bring his team in late. And we had 6 exhibition games back then. He would play all of his starters, all 6 exhibition games. He said that they're here to get in shape. We're going to make sure they're in shape. So when Jerry Glanville says, you show up late in camp for me, I'm going to Bud Grant you. You're going to play as many downs as you possibly can. Ken and Hinton have been here through the entire camp, so they get to stand on the sideline and laugh. The guys who came in late.
Dukes and Fralick getting some extra work. There's Tony Smith breaking tackles to the 30-yard line. A gain of about 50, make that 19 yards.
This Tony Smith has made an excellent impression. You see it's the option by Billy Joe Tolliver. Breaks a tackle there, runs right through the arms of a Buffalo defender.
Dwight Drain unable to bring him down as Tony Smith now with 65 yards rushing on the night.
They want this kid. If it can't be him, they also have Broussard, but they like his size, they like his speed, they like his strength. They want him to be this super back in the run and shoot.
Steve Broussard and Keith Jones are the other running backs who are both being rested, will be available on opening day. Oliver, too long for George Thomas.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Hale, a nice little veteran move. Just got his hand on Thomas enough. Thomas, another one of those world-class sprinters. There's just enough contact to slow him down and make the pass incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 30 of the Bills. 33 seconds left in the third quarter. An Atlanta touchdown would give these folks in Georgia hope that their home team can rally from 24 and up and down. The option again. And Smith unable to pick his way free from Drain this time. So Drain run over on the last option play, but makes the tackle this time.
The option near side. You know the quarterback's not going to keep it in the NFL. He's always going to pitch it to the running back. Smith this time has Drain waiting for him for little or no gain.
And that will be the last play of the third quarter. Buffalo 24, Atlanta 7 will return to Georgia after these messages from your local station.
Sunday, eyewitness a death-defying rescue. They risked their own lives to save a stranger who lived to tell about it. Eyewitness Video at 8 following a special Sunday Unsolved Mysteries on NBC.
It's some things that have changed for the better, and some things that haven't changed at all. It's getting something back again you thought you might be losing. It's everyone for one another instead of everyone for himself. It's finding something in yourself you never knew you had. Bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
1 + 1 = 3, a symposium which will empower you to shape the future. Milestone Management and WPTZ-TV present James Burke, award-winning television host, October 2nd at the Sheraton Conference Center.
But he is certainly very dynamic and engaging.
Also, Inventing the Future by Malachi Pankos, a special introduction by Governor Dean, and an interactive period with a panel of distinguished Vermonters. 1 + 1 = 3. Call today for tickets and information.
For everything you need this fall at a fraction of the price, it's Ames 1/3 off back-to-school sale. Get 1/3 off all men's clothing, all ladies' clothing, and all kids' clothing. 1/3 off all shoes, 1/3 off all Rubbermaid, and 1/3 off all mini blinds. Plus, get 1/3 off all furniture and lighting, along with 1/3 off all comforters and bedspreads. So don't miss the Ames 1/3 off back-to-school sale this Friday and Saturday only. It's the ultimate lesson in saving.
News 5 Nightside, tonight 11, right here on WPTZ.
Kelly, he posted the 14 early. Touchdown passes to Andre Reed and tight end Ed Thomas. 24-7 now as we start the fourth quarter. Kelly was 6 for 7, 100 yards. 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons. They're at the Buffalo 27. Billy Joe Tolliver at quarterback. Rookie Tony Smith with 67 yards, the tailback. Whoops. Flag goes down. Smith with a jerky start. The throw to Collins, who is hammered by Manny Hendricks. Incomplete. 2 flags are down.
Yeah, you got 2 choices here. Offsides or illegal procedure by the offense. The offense usually loses this battle.
Well, it might be both ways. Where the official pointing at Buffalo.
Illegal motion. Deep back on the offense. Offside, number 66 on the defense. Penalties offset. Still 3rd down.
Good call, Dick Enberg. Good call. That doesn't happen often.
66 on the defense, did he say? That's that Jerry Crafts who plays offense. He's so big, his shadow caused a 5-yard penalty. He's over on the sidelines. That's 66 on the offense.
Yeah. We're talking about 66 for Buffalo.
And there he is. He said, boy, things going rotten for me. I'm just trying to make a club, and these guys are whistling me. Tolliver. Underneath he goes to Thomas. Oh, you could see that speed generating. He's down to the 20 and close to a 1st down.
They call this the slip screen. And the key is that this ball's got to be thrown inside. He waits for the offensive lineman for the kick-out block. There you see it made. But actually, the corner does an excellent job of getting back out there. Chris Hale to make the tackle.
It is shy of the 1st down by about a ½ yard as they mark it almost at the 21. So with 14 minutes, 19 seconds to go in this final period. Eric Pegram comes in for Tony Smith as the running back. And Pegram struggling. It's going to be close as the Bills stacking it up right at the 20. It'll depend on the mark. And this most certainly will be measured. James Patton, the rookie from Texas, number 93, making another good play submarining, and Kurt Schultz up from the secondary. He's a rookie 7th-round pick from Eastern Washington. 1st down.
Tagliabue written on that football. Not by much.
Now that keeps the interest of the locals. Falcons, who will open at home against the New York Jets, who are striding tall after a 5-0 preseason. Tolliver, second option is Phillips. Intercepted. Schultz, Kurt Schultz. And he's back from the 14-yard line. So the 206-pound safety from Yakima, Washington. He had 17 interceptions at Eastern Washington. Picks off a beauty.
Boy, he does a great job on the catch here. As you see Phillips turn up. Watch Schultz reach right back over his arms. Excellent catch by Schultz for the interception.
Had a fumble recovery for a touchdown against the Lions. Timeout.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to La Roche-Guyon, one of the prettiest towns in France. But should something go wrong here, only Visa Gold can get you out.
You had to come to France, right?
Don't start, Marty.
Because La Roche-Guyon's only towing service
No, we're not getting a tow truck. I can get this out.
doesn't take American Express.
Oui?
Visa Gold, delivering what really matters.
Jamal's France.
Honey, that means I eat France.
Oh.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Low prices on Duracell batteries.
Don't you love it when you test the battery and find it's still alive?
What do we do before these testers?
I shudder to think about it.
Kmart's got Fruit of the Loom Boys briefs on sale, and there's a $2 rebate.
What's a rebate?
It's like an allowance.
Do you have to keep your room clean to get it? Good deal.
With Kmart's low prices, everything is saying, buy me, buy me.
Funny, I didn't hear a thing.
You ought to try new KFC popcorn chicken. Bite-sized morsels of tender, crispy chicken, delicious. I call them the Colonel's Colonels. Get it?
New KFC popcorn chicken, a fun deal in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Quality motor oil can go a long way toward protecting against engine wear. But by adding STP oil treatment, it can go even further because STP increases even the best oil's viscosity by up to 50%. It's that simple.
Saturdays this fall on NBC. From Boys in the Hood, Morris Chestnut.
We are living large now.
From White Men Can't Jump, Dwayne Martin. Grammy winner, Patti LaBelle.
Ooh, I'm scared of you.
From the creators of The Fresh Prince, Out All Night, Saturdays this fall on NBC.
Jerry Glanville, 3-0 down in the turnover column. And trails 24-7, denied on an excellent interception by the rookie Schultz. Gail Gilbert to the sidelines, and Brad Lamb out of bounds at the 21. That'll be a 26-yard line and a first down.
Pretty play. You want to see big? Again, Kraft's pushing people around at 360 or 80 pounds. He's carrying a little extra baggage there, but this is an excellent pattern run by Lamb. Well done by Gail Gilbert. Comes back for the football. Nice reception for a first down. Boy, I wish they all worked that way.
Lamb is from Little Anderson, Indiana College, an NAIA Division II school. He drafted a year ago in the 8th round. Howard Griffith, a yard or two on first down, and Tim Green, the veteran from Syracuse, still playing.
I don't know what's going on here, and I don't know why Tim Green is playing this much.
3.83 out of a possible perfect 4 as a student at Syracuse University in English literature. It's really uplifting to have a chat with an athlete, anyone that speaks and handles himself so wonderfully in conversation as one we had yesterday. Eddie Fuller out to the 35-yard line, a yard and a half shy of a first down, as nose tackle Torrey Epps does a good job of trailing the play.
You know, you mentioned Tim Green and his grade point average and his intelligence after meeting John Fina, the offensive tackle of the Buffalo Bills, first-round draft choice last night. I'd like for those two to meet. Fina last night said, I said, what do you do for hobbies? He says, I read Russian literature. As a hobby, you say, you read Russian literature. Yes, sure, of course you do. He's the young man who is dating a professional golfer, Michelle McGann, who is a rising star on the LPGA. Russian literature for entertainment.
He said, I didn't watch it. I'd rather read than watch the NFL when I was in college. Over the top goes Kenneth. Oh, now it's Eddie Fuller, and he's close to a first down. Let's watch the #1 pick of the Bills, John Fina. Number 70.
Inside, good drive technique at Arizona. Probably did a lot of that. There wasn't a great deal of pass protection. And this is Michelle McGann. This was at the Women's Kemper in Hawaii on Maui. Michelle McGann is a very long hitter, a very athletic golfer. She is a young lady that's going to be on that tour for a lot of years.
They didn't let any people come and watch that tournament? I mean,
oh, no, there were lots of people that watched that tournament, but that was on the front side.
I see. Oh, I don't know much about you. You're the golf expert. I just seemed like kind of lonely out there. John Athena. And he was serious. He said, you know, in college, I did watch a lot of football as a kid, and I was a Steeler fan and loved the linebackers, Ham and Lambert. But in college, you know, I had my own games, and then I had to study. Yeah. So I didn't really watch much of the NFL.
So he wants to be a doctor. He wants to be a pediatrician.
Father's a physician.
Orthopedist. Whoops, don't catch it.
Baldinger was the closest white jersey to that pass.
They were trying for a screen out there, but the running back that was the intended receiver kind of got caught up in the wash, couldn't get out.
Can you idea? You played 10 years in the league, and you went to 4 Pro Bowls, and you were in this spot as a rookie, and from what I gather from you and your former assistant coach Bill Walsh, you didn't really know whether you'd make it in the NFL about this time?
Absolutely not. I was scared to death. There were 23 guys at my position. We played 6 exhibition games, but
illegal motion by the Bills.
I guess foolishly, I must admit to you that I went to Paul Brown and asked him. I had teammates who said, "You're nuts for going in there."
False start prior to the snap, right side of the offensive line. 5 yards, still second
you
down.
You went to Coach Paul Brown? And
yes, and there was a writer from Columbus named Paul Hornung who can confirm this story. I walked in the office and I said, my wife is about to give birth to my first son. If I'm not going to make this team this week, I'm leaving for Los Angeles to be there for the birth. If I'm going to make it, she needs to come here next week. He shook his leg like he used to do and kind of arched his eyebrows and said, why don't you bring her here? He told his son Mike to write me a check for $1,000 because if I made the team, I got $1,000. I went back up to the room 3 floors high. This was in the middle of July. I was sweating from head to toe and didn't realize it. I just made the Cincinnati Bengals.
There's a turnover, and that was a fumble and a touchdown for Tim Falk. Falk, the man who has had a good game defensively and is rewarded with a touchdown. Darryl Hardy, number 50, created the fumble. Another rookie.
Well, the one thing you could say about Jerry Glanville's defense, they are relentless. They don't give up. Excellent blitz from the outside. Comes from the top of the screen. All over Gilbert. That's number 50, Darryl Hardy, who caused it. Hulk picks it up and runs it in for a score. 11-yard return. Last year, the Falcons scored on 6 returns. 4 fumbles returned for touchdowns.
And the extra point by Norm Johnson. And with 10.5 minutes left, Atlanta is back in the game.
This is light.
Spring white. Those are great.
Wow! These are light?
Give me more!
Wait. Let's put Pringles Light up against these bag chips. There's 25% less fat in Pringles than in these.
You're talking my language.
And they're a lot less greasy. A lot less.
That's great.
Fantastic. These are great.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
But I don't have to.
Mitsubishi believes that a luxury car should offer something beyond the usual luxuries. It may be extraordinary power and control, a consummate blend of comfort and performance, or a state-of-the-art four-wheel drive system. The 3000 GT, the Diamante, the Montero. Lease the luxury car of your choice. Only $399 a month for 36 months. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Last time I stained my house with that other brand. This time, I'm using Thompson Stain.
Only Thompson's House and Deck Stain contains Thompson's Water Seal. It waterproofs better than even the leading brand's premium stain.
Now that's beautiful protection.
Thompson Stain.
This is the time to use Ace Paint. Hey, Ace knows what it takes to make great paint because Ace makes its own. Ace Paint, top quality in every drop, guaranteed.
Ace 7-Star, their best interior flat latex, is just $10.97 a gallon.
Another reason Ace is the place for you.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around. By the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it. By Pringles, so fresh, once you pop, you can't stop. And by Ace Hardware. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Well, the Georgia Dome on its feet. Fans applauding the Falcons' comeback from 24-0 down, 24-14. They tried an onside kick the last time and apparently will again here as they overload the left side but take a lot of time. So now all the Bills are able to rush up and cover. Now this is good practice for the regular year. Well done. Number 55 for the Bills, Mark Maddox from Northern Michigan. Jerry Glanville's alma mater makes the play.
In case you're wondering, Maddox can run that ball in. That's a free ball once it goes 10 yards. The ball is kicked into the ground by Norm Johnson. Actually,
doesn't have to go 10 yards.
Not for the receiving team. For the receiving team, it does not have to go 10 yards. You could run it in, but a nice recovery.
First down, Buffalo at the 32 of Atlanta.
I'm kind of surprised they did that. Last exhibition game, last quarter of the exhibition season, 1992.
Will Gilbert from the University of California, Berkeley, the quarterback, the third-string quarterback for the Bills. Oh, smothered in the backfield. Another big play by Darryl Hardy. And Hardy, a 10th-round pick from Tennessee. He's not very big. They list him at 220, maybe not that heavy. He is to be remembered for a very big play in the collegiate season last year. Notre Dame led Tennessee going into the half 31-7, tried a field goal to make it 34-7. Hardy blocked it. Tennessee took it for a touchdown, made it 34-14, and the Volunteers rallied in the second half to win that game. It all started with Hardy's blocked field goal. Gilbert to Chris Walsh, and he does show sure hands. Gilbert showing a strong back again.
He has gotten up off this carpet here in the Georgia Dome a lot, and the Atlanta Falcons are blitzing on every single play, trying to come up with a big turnover. The 51 on the outside, 72. Barnett comes untouched. You're supposed to have blocking assignments that work from the inside out. If anybody's going to hit the quarterback, it should come from the complete outside. Somebody missed the blocking assignment.
On third down, underneath to Fuller. And he's wrapped up on a solid tackle by Louis Riddick and Brett Fernández. Fourth down, and on comes the field goal unit as Chris Moore, the punter, will hold for Steve Christie. Marv Levy, whose expertise is special teams, as assistant many years in the NFL. That was his working role under George Allen with the Rams for many years. And he has Christie out there to try a 49-yard attempt. He's made good from 32, missed from 52. Blocked by the Falcons, and it spins dead down at the 13-yard line. Touched by the Falcons and covered by Buffalo. That's a big mistake by Atlanta. They didn't need to touch the ball, but did, and Jim Kelly says we'll take the fourth turnover of the game.
Boy, you sure hope the guy that did that for his sake is a rookie, and you can just blame it on inexperience. It looked like Rod Sadler was the man up the middle who made the block.
And as Levy works on special teams with Buffalo, so does Glanville with his club, the Falcons. Of course, Glanville really calls offenses, defenses, and special teams as well.
Blocks normally come from the outside, but on long field goal attempts, they seem to come more from the inside. It's 94 from the Atlanta Falcons. Sadler, who makes the block, gets his hand up. Rod Sadler, and then let's hope this is just inexperience. Or is somebody trying to pull a cute stunt here?
That's Tim McCire.
Well, he knows better than that.
Well, but he's known for a cute stunt and now and then, too.
Wow.
Well, that's why he's gone from San Francisco to Miami to Atlanta in the last 3 years. Tim Green's still in there.
Yeah, I guess you can't presume that every player on the field knows all the rules. You just can't presume that if you're a head coach. But as much attention as Jerry Glanville pays or pays to the special teams, I'm sure he has lectured his players as to what to do after a block kick.
A blocked field goal in play is a returnable kick.
Exactly.
So when you try to return it, as did McIver touch it, it was a live ball. Fuller buried at the 3-yard line, bringing up 3rd and goal.
I'm trying to justify my mind why Tim McIver would do that. Did he think that the ball was hit by the offense? Maybe it hit into the middle of the offensive lineman, and then I'm not sure what would ever justify high risk. Yeah, under today's rules by taking a chance with that ball.
Gilbert to Chris Walsh, and it's incomplete. Signal touchdown, but he did not have possession as Terry Ray, the younger brother of the former Jets defensive back Darrell Ray, made the play, bringing up 4th down.
You see Walsh run the little drag pattern to the outside. His hands, whoa! He puts his hands up, and then he sees the football and motions incomplete.
Christie to try his 4th field goal. He's 1 for 3. This one a chip shot from 21. The last one was blocked from 49. And Buffalo builds its lead to 27-14. 7:09 left.
Car and Driver has named it to its 10 best list 4 years in a row. Now, there's a Mitsubishi Eclipse you can lease for just $500 down and as little as $149 a month. But hurry, this Eclipse will soon disappear. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Hey, you think you're busy? 2 words, Deion Sanders. He's scoring touchdowns, he's hitting triples, he's getting his hair done. He's wearing 7,000 pounds worth of clothing. He's hanging with his posse. He's out of control. He's washing his cars. He's riding in his helicopter. He's babysitting his daughter. He's tying his shoes. He's still out of control. He's so busy he needs 2 nicknames, Prime Time and Neon Deion. Okay? But he's still hitting the bike, the weights, the road, and the pool. And you know what? He's still out of control. I think you hear me knocking, and I think I'm coming in. And I got Deion and his 27 nicknames with me. Need a nickname? Maybe he'll lend you one. Wrong!
Willie Mays, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth. 3 sports legends now on the legendary box. Wheaties limited edition collector boxes. Get them before their history.
Are annual credit card fees sending you through the roof? Carry the card that charges no annual fee and stay on firm financial ground. It pays to discover.
The New York Jets. After a playoff appearance and their best preseason ever, they're ready for takeoff into the NFL's elite. The Atlanta Falcons. Last year's playoff surge proved these contenders are too legit to quit. Now, 2 teams on the rise collide. The NFL season begins September 6th.
Back at the $214 million new Georgia Dome. They're trying for the NCAA Final Four. They have the Super Bowl in 1994. Steve Christie, who is 2 for 4 kicking field goals. Derek Moore, the deep man for Atlanta. Oh, he gets a good foot into that one, 7 yards deep in the end zone.
You saw that stat on the Buffalo Bills and Scott Norwood last year. They expect an awful lot out of this young man. You know, you can't go into every season expecting to score 58 touchdowns. You're going to need a field goal kicker now and then. Strong leg, but he's not really performed very well so far this preseason.
Well, they had Norwood last year for field goals and Brad DeLucia to kick off. DeLucia's now with Dallas, so Christie, if he can kick off like that, really does fill an extra position. It gives Marv Levy another man on the roster.
But when you play in Buffalo, bad weather, you want a sure-footed kicker up there late in the season. You want more than 4 for 9 out of Steve Christie.
Wade Wilson, the former Viking, the veteran from East Texas State. He comes out throwing and incomplete. Sean Collins.
And talking to Atlanta Falcons people, they want to keep all 3 of these quarterbacks. They want Wade Wilson to stay here, Tolliver to be the backup to Chris Miller. They want Wade Wilson to catch on to what's going on in this offense, just like Actually, Joe Tolliver has. It's Chris Miller. One of the most accurate long throwers I think you can find in the NFL.
All three men have been starters. Miller, a budding star at quarterback for Atlanta. Wilson batted in the air and incomplete. Almost an interception for a defensive man. Number 92 for the Bills, Gary Boldinger. He's the nose tackle. Brother Brian, an offensive lineman.
Well, Wilson does a good job of avoiding the sack, but again, late down the middle, you're taking a chance. And that ball rockets off somebody's shoulder pads, and then
George Thomas, good coverage.
16-yard deflection that Ross Schneiderman just told us. That thing had some energy behind it.
Man who made the defensive play, you want to talk about him, 95, is Wilson on 3rd and 10. Throws complete at the 41-yard line. Paul Miller, first down. 21 yards on the play.
Henry Jones was the man in coverage. Top right. Atlanta keeps running out a nice string of receivers. Well, that's not a very well thrown ball, but he goes down and gets it. That's a tough catch.
Tough ball to catch. You can see how it was waffling out there. 21 yards on the play. Wilson to the 50-yard line. Nearly 10 more to Jason Phillips, who's had a terrific game for the Falcons, but in this red gun or run and shoot offense, you're going to get receivers with 8, 9, 10 catches. He's got 8 tonight. The Bills taking a look at their number 3 draft pick from Penn State at linebacker, Keith Gogenius, number 95. And in the grasp of Phil Hansen is Wade Wilson. Hansen with a sack for Buffalo. It comes with 5:43 left in the 4th period, and Buffalo leading by 13.
Of course, Hansen was the young man last year who made a lot for Bruce Smith, who played tonight, first series. Didn't look like the world beater he will look like and normally is when he's healthy.
Wilson again, Hansen again. Back-to-back sacks by the second-year man from the Bisons of North Dakota State. He had help from 94 Mark Pike. Ball marked at the 37-yard line. And on 4th down and 13, they're going to go for it. Intercepted. Chris Hale, 40, 30, and out of bounds at the 25. A flag is down as Hale, will that be the 5th turnover for Buffalo?
Holding, number 66, offense, penalty decline, first down.
Interception will stand. Wilson trying to catch on to this offense. May not be totally familiar with what is in fact going on. You see Pegram there on the left. He's rushed a little bit, but Hale is wide open. The receiver doesn't even see the ball at all. Nice return. Buffalo again has the ball.
Mitsubishi believes that a luxury car should offer something beyond the usual luxuries. It may be extraordinary power and control, a consummate blend of comfort and performance, or a state-of-the-art four-wheel drive system. The 3000 GT, the Diamante, the Montero. Lease the luxury car of your choice. Only $399 a month for 36 months. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Just because you go all out doesn't mean you gotta stink. Not if you're wearing this. And here comes your chance to prove it. And you will, because Old Spice works. Man, does it work. Fights wetness, kills bacteria. The proof?
Hey, hotshot.
You're looking at her.
Old Spice antiperspirant for great odor protection. You demand proof, not promises. At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Detonex.
Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desilex.
There's one battery that backs you with free Jumpstart service anywhere, for any reason. Die Hard.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Sears Die Hard. The battery you can count on to give you more power when you need it most.
She captured the Olympic gold. Now, Jennifer Capriati defends her title at the Mazda Tennis Classic. Courts in session this weekend on NBC.
Olympic champion Jennifer Capriati out at La Costa, California. It's tomorrow and Sunday here on NBC. Gail Gilbert in Buffalo on the Hale interception. Start at the 25 of Atlanta. Tipped in the air and complete. Intended for tight end Vince Morrow, an 11th round pick from Toledo. And the news not all bad just on the scoreboard for Atlanta. It's in the injury column as well, with Scott Case, starting safety, a thumb fracture. Eaton, his replacement, a sprained knee. Oscar Giles, only a sprained ankle and what seemed like an incredible dislocation of that ankle.
I don't know how that's just a sprained ankle. There are others missing through here for the Atlanta Falcons.
Gilbert to Chris Walsh, and Walsh, the rookie, is to the 5-yard line, and flags are down.
Yeah, he catches the ball, and there's also interference on the defense. Walsh did an excellent job of getting away from the defender.
Well, he's a long shot to make this talented Buffalo roster.
Holding, 27, defense, penalty declined, first down.
That's William Evers. But Walsh might just be winning a spot somewhere.
Here's Walsh, and once he jumps inside of the defender has no choice but to hang on. Walsh keeps running and makes the catch. 5th catch of the night, 54 yards.
Got good size, 6'1" and 185. Well, he doesn't have that blazing speed. If he doesn't make Buffalo, he might attract interest somewhere else in the NFL. Underneath it goes to Morrow, the tight end, and he fights down to the 1-yard line with his 251 pounds. Former player at Youngstown State before transferring to Toledo. He was a terrific basketball player. Here's the missing Falcons. Sanders, 81 catch, Andre Rison, and Bob Whitfield, their #1 draft pick, a teammate of Chris Walsh at Stanford, a big tackle, hasn't signed. And then Rady with a starting linebacker knee surgery, Gann, a fractured thumb, Pritchard, he probably, and Broussard just being rested. They'll be ready to go on opening day.
Broussard has a slightly separated shoulder, but not most of training camp, but should make the opening day roster.
2nd and goal.
Fumble.
And a fumble, and Atlanta appears to have recovered. Yes. Michael Reed was in there, number 95, who was replacing Rady at linebacker.
Not, of course, subject to review. Lead block by Griffith, 29. Forward progress stop. Knee was not down, but it's ruled a fumble recovery.
Reed with the recovery. Rod Sadler, 94, appeared to deliver the blow from the side that knocked it free.
I wonder how this season is going to go without the instant replay.
Well, I think for those of us who like the flow of the game not being interrupted, we have to trust that the officials are usually right. And no one's perfect. We tried to make an imperfect rule perfect with the instant replay, and we saw even the instant replay was wrong sometimes. They may have admitted that. In fact, Mr. Trumpy, there were over 500 reviews last year. There were some 80-some or 90 reversals, and 1/8 or 1/9 of those they now decided were reversed incorrectly. So even then there were mistakes made. So why not let the officials call it, accept their call, and go on with the game? Why try to make it perfect?
Mr. Enberg, being a proponent of the instant replay, I don't think you throw out the system because it's incorrectly utilized. I think with our technology, there are going to be instances in this season, as there have been in every season, where it cries out for a mistake corrected. I wasn't bothered that much by the interruptions. The league told us that the average stoppage of play last year with instant replay was 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's after they had instituted
Maybe it was just
clock.
my games where it seemed so much longer. And I'm really delighted. And when they stopped the play about now, on a play when it's like 3rd and 15 and there's a 3-yard game, they stopped to review it to see. I mean, there were times.
No argument.
Flag goes down. I just think that announcers aren't perfect.
False start before the snap. 65 offense. Half the distance. Still 3rd down.
Players make mistakes. Coaches make mistakes. Officials make mistakes. Announcers make mistakes. The world makes mistakes.
Sure.
What you want to do is reduce it down where it isn't ridiculously costly to anyone. Basically, when you've watched a lot of games, the officials aren't wrong very often, and the obvious area doesn't come up very often. Do we want to sacrifice all that time, what I think is all that time, to try to get that 1 or 2 or 3 crucial plays?
I agree with you. In your list of mistakes, it might also be that ownership in the league made a mistake because the competition committee voted to keep instant replay. Ownership overruled the competition committee.
That's James Patton, the rookie from Texas. But you know what, Bob? I think probably it'll be back next year, mostly because we're going to replay close plays and show that officials do make mistakes, and there'll be the cry from everyone from fans to, and it's the coaches who really want it. It's the coaches who really want instant replay because they don't want to lose a job because of an official's call. Bad call.
I think that's only reasonable. This is Patton who, going through there, his leg seems to crumble. Here's Patton right here, and watch when he goes through the line of scrimmage. He's on Bill Fralick 79, and it looks like he just gets thrown a little bit, but I can't really tell what in fact happened to the ankle. I can tell you this: there have certainly been instances. I'm not accusing any coaching staff that we're watching here, but there certainly have been instances where players have told son, go out there and get a concussion. We like you, but we don't have room for you. I'm not accusing Mr. Patton of that. That has happened in the league quite often. Get a concussion.
Why do you look at me and gesture so violently when you make that point?
I want you on my side when it comes to instant replay. No, I'm not accusing. Don't show me Marv. I'm not accusing Marv Levy of doing this.
You're on your own, big boy.
But we're going to see Marv in 2 weeks now. Somebody's going to tell him this. Get a concussion.
Well, that's, in other words, what you're saying is that when you're coming down to the final 47 and you want to keep a player, you don't want to lose him, and he's a fairly decent prospect, no room for him, that an injury at this time means you've got about a 4-week buying period, or maybe even a whole season where you can develop him on injured reserve. And that you say does happen.
It's a compliment to the player. It's against league rules, but it's a compliment to the player.
Somehow, I'd have trouble with that if my coach came up to me and said, Enberg, get a concussion. I'd say, Coachy, baby, do you mind if I do something, maybe a groin pull?
Okay, pick the injury. I just said a concussion.
Let's hope we're not making folly here while this talented player, James Patton, is seriously hurt. He appears to be okay, and let's hope that's the case.
They are taking him to the locker room.
This weekend, NBC Sports serves up some great women's tennis. We'll feature the smile of Jennifer Capriati. It was one of the highlights of the Olympic Games to see this 16-year-old who's had some ups and downs the last year, play so magnificently, win the gold medal. You'll see her in action at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Pacific time, both Saturday and Sunday in the Mazda Tennis Classic. Bud Collins and Chris Everett are out there in beautiful Acosta, California for the live coverage.
Jennifer beat Steffi Graf, right?
In the finals.
She was utterly shocked, I thought. Her reaction was utterly shocked that she won that gold medal.
Other than Bud Collins, not many people picked Capriati over Graf, but he had the winner. From the 25-yard line, first down, Atlanta. Wilson underneath. Thomas, who can fly. Corralled at the 45-yard line of Buffalo. A 30-yard play.
This is called a slip screen. Thomas, with his great speed, can execute this thing to perfection. Again, you're going to see the offensive lineman come out here and make the first hit on Hale, 26. And the idea is receiver gets back out to the sideline.
Atlanta.
Outstanding speed, and he makes a big gain out of it.
Matt Darby, the rookie from UCLA, the tackler.
Watch the way this happens. The idea is step up here. Linemen pull out. They try to make this first block. You take it here and then cut to the outside. It requires a little timing, a lot of speed. There's the slip. You slip underneath the defensive lineman. Well executed by Atlanta. It's a play they ran last year. This preseason, they've done an excellent job on it.
And the lineman, you don't have to make a big block.
No.
It's almost a brush block when you have that kind of speed.
You're told, release the guy to the outside of you. Go up underneath it. That's why it's called a slip screen.
They mark it just inside the Buffalo 46-yard line. There's just under 3 minutes to go, and Atlanta has spent a timeout.
I can't believe we were 3 quarters together and you're already calling me Mr. Trumpy.
That's mother calling you Robert.
Yes, Robert. I'm in trouble.
On first down, Wade Wilson from the shotgun. The quick throw. Is he inbounds? Yes. First down at the 32-yard line. Now there's a play with instant replay they might have reviewed. Very close on the sidelines. I'm satisfied. Now we see the replay, and he was in.
It's a catch. But I thought replay showed the officials in a very good light. But without the replay review, I think television will show plays like that a little less often. But I don't think because we can't add another angle to them, I don't think we'll show them as much. But I thought the instant replay showed the officials in a very good light.
Pegram, who carried the ball more than any Falcon rusher last year, just over 100 carries. It's a team that says on one hand they'd like to run the ball more effectively, and June Jones, the offensive coordinator, told us that, and yet Jerry Glanville on the other hand was saying we just run for attitude. Yeah. We're going to throw it and throw it and throw it long.
Yeah, but he also said I am not in love with any particular offense, meaning to run and shoot. I'll use whatever might work.
Down goes Wilson as Hansen has his 3rd sack of this 4th quarter. Phil Hansen from Oaks, North Dakota, to North Dakota State, a school that produced one of the top linebackers of the last couple of generations, Steve Nelson, for the New England Patriots. Ron Earhart was his coach.
Fargo was his nickname.
That's Ron Earhart. Wilson, the veteran, scrambling, always could run well, and has a first down inside the 20. And that comes at the 2-minute timeout, a 17-yard gain, 27-14 Buffalo.
Eclipse, noun. The motion of one heavenly body passing in front of another. An eclipse occurs only with the perfect alignment of arcs and curves and angles. Eclipse, verb, to surpass, to leave others behind. Eclipse for 1992. From Mitsubishi, the word is getting around. You may also lease a base model Eclipse for as little as $500 down and $149 a month.
What? What are you thinking about?
No, nothing.
Tell me.
It's stupid.
Oh, it's okay. I want to know, really.
I was just thinking, you know that cord I got that goes into the back of the cassette player? It may be too short.
Newlyweds Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt. Mad About You, Wednesdays this fall after Seinfeld on NBC.
You know that cord in the back? You're right. It's too short.
That's what I'm thinking.
Along with Gail Gardner, Dick Enberg, with Mr. Trumpy. 27-14. It's been fun, and I hope we can spice up our games with some fun, although in these preseasons we can take more liberties. And Buffalo is showing early that they're going to be serious about defending that AFC crown.
My concern is for Jeff Wright, the nose tackle. How well or how quickly Bruce Smith comes around to his form, and how soon they're going to get Bennett back in and sign. Those are my major concerns for this defense.
Who else do you like in the AFC? Who might be a real serious
I like
contender?
Denver. I like Denver, and I like their defense.
Houston?
Houston, you got to like. Kansas City, you got to like. I think the acquisition by Kansas City of Dave Craig is one of the most astute, absolutely astute acquisitions by a football team in the last 10 or 15 years.
He's a good fit.
Yeah. He can't carry a football team, but he can run a football team like very few quarterbacks can. So there's 4 or 5 choices, I think, in the AFC.
Well, despite all the turnovers, Jim Kelly got Buffalo off to the early 14-0 start with a 6-for-7 first quarter, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Atlanta touchdown away from making this a 6-point game. Wilson to Jason Phillips. Oh, is he drilled at the line of scrimmage as he tried to come inside and ran into Manny Hendricks, number 30. Hendricks was a basketball player in college at Utah. And that would have been some kind of screen out there.
That again was the slip screen. This time blew it up before it got started.
Wilson. Hansen was right there again, and Pegram picks up the loose ball back at the 26-yard line as the clock runs at 1:25 and a timeout. Our thanks to the men and women who brought you this, our final preseason game on NBC. Jerry Glanville's favorite crew, the executive producer of NBC Sports, Terry O'Neill, coordinating producer of NBC Football, producer of tonight's telecast, John Faratzis. Tonight's telecast was directed by John Gonzalez, associate director Jeff Simon, production associate Ed Fibishoff, technical manager Alan Shear, production manager Willetta Demet, technical director Mitch Geller. Thanks to Ross Slingshot Snyderman, Wes Atia, and Kim Anderson here in the booth.
By the way, we said earlier that Jerry Glanville was looking for a sponsor for his stock car. Our 800 number has not been ringing here. We've had no one volunteer to.
One fella did call and had a black and red hubcap, and I'm not sure that's what Jerry's looking for. But yeah, actually, he's very proud of the fact that he raced a lot better than the veterans thought he could. And what did he say? He's in the top 50?
Top 50, and they couldn't believe it. And one of the pictures he has, he's proudest of on his wall, is he and Dale Earnhardt going through a corner together.
On 3rd down and long, Wilson almost intercepted by Chris Hale, who has one tonight. Hale in his 4th year from Southern California. He was a 2-time California high school long jump champion, 5'7" and 170, and the kind of size that in your day, Bob Trumpy, would never have been able to make it at cornerback in this league. But now they can because of these offenses.
My generation of professional football player, when it came to receivers, we had to contend with the likes of Mel Blount. He kind of dictated to offenses for several years. If you're going to play in this game and be Pittsburgh, you need big receivers. Little receivers really got hammered.
On 4th down and long, Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! Nope. Flag is down. Thomas had it. No signal for a touchdown. He had it for a moment. Gee, if we only had instant replay, we could tell you.
Wait a minute. We still have no call from the officials.
Except that we have a flag in the end zone.
Flag down. It's going to be on the
Pass
1 yard.
interference.
Yep.
Number 43, defense in the end zone. It will be 1st and goal on the 1 yard line.
Matt Darby committed the foul. 1st and goal at the 1.
He's putting up with a great deal of speed here. Boy, Thomas pushes him first. There is no question about that.
Darby, though, didn't look to the ball, and that's the key. The officials are going to allow those defensive backs contact, but they must be looking back for the ball, and Darby, a rookie, wasn't.
Yep, rookie mistake.
So with 1:14 left in the game, it's Pegram diving to the goal line and stopped just short. Mark Maddox.
I still see Bill Fralick in there on the ground. Jerry Glanville is calling timeout. Bill Fralick is still in there. Offensive guard.
The 3rd timeout spent by Atlanta. There's Fralick, a number 1 draft pick from the University of Pittsburgh, 4-time Pro Bowler.
Jerry Glanville has really granted him tonight, hasn't he? He has been in there a bunch.
Going to be in condition for the opener.
He is.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from just inches away. with 1:03 left, and Glanville hoping that they can get a quick score out of timeouts. Obviously an onside kick. They've tried 2 of those already.
One worked, one didn't.
Well, one worked, but only the injury to the Falcon player allowed Buffalo to recover anyway. It's been a 95-yard drive engineered by Wade Wilson late to get the ball almost tickling that goal line.
With no timeouts, you need to score this play. You can't spend.
Gotta throw it, even though you're on the 1-inch line.
Couple of plays. You can't spend a couple of plays here trying to get it in.
And the throw it is. Touchdown. Jason Phillips again. What a night for Jason Phillips. 11 catches, 2 touchdowns.
They've got tandem flankers here just to the right. The entire offense goes to the left. Henry Jones, number 20, is the closest man in coverage, but well-designed offensive play there. 2 flankers setting to that side of the scrimmage, that line of scrimmage.
Try for point by Norm Johnson. And the former UCLA kicker makes it 27-21 with 1:03 left. They had added 3 seconds onto the clock, and so that explains why it's still 1:03 remaining.
Wide receiver, running back, and then two receivers sitting right here. Watch the little game they play to get Phillips open. Everybody fakes to the left. They allow the man to go through. He's totally uncovered. Very well designed goal line play by the Atlanta Falcons. Worked to perfection.
Now the onside kick. I bet as a player you love to be on these situations.
No. Not in the last exhibition game.
That's when you know you're standing. Get out there on the onside kick crew, where we're going to have 11 men against 11, only 10 yards apart.
But now wait, the hands team is established early in training camp. Normally very sure-handed people are put up front, receivers, running backs, and things of that nature. But it's just, you know, in 9 days we open, guys. I don't want to get broken apart here.
So 27-21, and the Falcons hoping for a kind bounce that would give them a chance for another possession. They were down 24-0 when Fuller scored early in the 3rd quarter, and they've rallied to 27-21.
Look at who they have here on the front line. Walsh. They have Griffith. They have a tight end. They have Chris Hale. They have a lot of sure-handed people, and Norm Johnson likes to onside kick it this way.
Look at that pack of black on the near side.
Whoa, it's free. Oh, they got it.
Buffalo recover.
Dick, an interesting thing about these onside kicks. If that ball is kicked in the air, the receiving team can fair catch it. That's why you see all these onside kicks kicked into the ground. Watch the way this ball bounces. It's got to.
It didn't go 10, but it doesn't have to because the receiving team touched it first. And that's becoming more and more a technique, not waiting the 10. How often did you see the receiving team wait the 10 yards until the ball came to them? The play and the receiving team is what Buffalo has done tonight. Attack that ball, get it on a good bounce. Kurt Schultz, who had an interception earlier and a fine one, made the recovery at the 44. Now it's Academic with a minute to go, and Atlanta without a timeout. It's a couple of kneel downs, and the preseason is over for these two teams. Atlanta will be 1-3. Buffalo 2-2. 2-2 season, and the preseason for the Bills is outstanding. They normally leave with a losing record. Jim Kelly leaving with his regards to the Atlanta faithful. Bruce Smith got a chance to play.
He's going home too. He's going back to Virginia Beach, taking Thurman Thomas with him. Going to see the family before he has to go back to Buffalo.
See Papa George. He said he surprised his dad. Who there's Andre Reed, who got the 41 touchdown catch earlier. His dad, George Smith, amateur boxer. He took Evander Holyfield, who's a resident here of Atlanta, back to surprise him, and he said, boy, that just made Dad really healthy. Thurman Thomas didn't get a chance to see him. We'll see plenty of him when the bell rings a week from Sunday. Darryl Talley and all the rest of the Bills, 27-21. Join us tomorrow on NBC Sports starting at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific for the Mazda Tennis Classic, followed by live coverage of the Miller Lite U.S. Volleyball Championships. And later tonight on NBC, following your local news, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and Bob Costas will be one of his special guests. And then Late Night with David Letterman and Friday Night Videos. For Gail Gardner and Bob Trumpy, this is Dick Enberg at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. So long from Atlanta, where Buffalo wins it 27-21.
Get to know the people of Europe with the U.S.
Dimitri, the largest manufacturer in North America. Dimitri, the first name in leather. Dimitri, exclusive European design, superior quality at the lowest price. Be proud, wear Dimitri. Dimitri.
Before you make your choice, come to Dimitri.
6201 Park Avenue, corner Van Horn.
How do they do it?
Ice-capades at the Forum. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It's Mitsu and the Simpsons. It's exciting. Ice-capades. It's our Olympic champions Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler. It's fun and laughter and quick. It's time to get your tickets. Call 790-1245. Ice-capades December 26th to the 31st at the Forum. A Nestle presentation.
Boxing Day is traditionally the biggest day for savings in Montreal. And on December 26th, you'll save on Montreal's biggest sale day of the decade.
Elizabeth Hager has it all. On Boxing Day, every designer gown, cocktail, and daytime dress is half price. Every designer pant and skirt, blouse and blazer. Every sweater, half price. Every down or Thermaloft coat, regular to $310, now only $149. All at Elizabeth Hager's Boxing Day sale. Queen Mary at the Carry or in Cavendish Mall.
This is